Two World Cup semi-finalists have seen an absolute thriller. You thought India-South Africa would be a thrilling encounter. This topped it. So we have our ICC Under-19 World Cup finalists. It is not India-Pakistan. It is India versus Australia. A one-wicket win, that too with 5 balls remaining, has ensured Australianism prevails. Two unbeaten sides, India and Australia, are going to collide in the final. That is going to happen on 11th at the same venue, Willamore Park, Benoni.
And let's just see what the result this time is going to be like. The last time around, two cricketing men's side met in a World Cup final. We know what the outcome was, but 4 months on, the years changed. Let's hope the result also changes. But I want to talk about positive stuff over here. And before, we talk about this Australian side and what drama we saw, the one thing at the heart of all of this drama and the one thing that led to all of this drama was an inspired spell of bowling by Ali Razza.
Ali Razza, okay, a 15-year, 250 plus month fast bowler hailing from Rawalpindi. He really put on an inspirational spell of bowling, especially towards the death. You thought about 15 minutes prior to the end of the match, you thought Australia just coasting. There's no chance that they're going to botch it up. 25 runs, 6 wickets in hand, no problem. But Ali Razza's spell, and remember, he had taken a 3-wicket haul even against Bangladesh prior to that in the quarterfinals. So that's in the Super 6 match. That's why he became one of the most important bowlers. Took 2 wickets in 1 over, 4 wickets for 34 in 10 overs and 2 maidens. It blew the game totally wide open, and you had to survive a hostile spell even by Ubaid Shah, the younger brother of Naseem Shah, the Pakistan speedster.
And not just that, he has got pace. It was also how he actually utilized the short delivery. It was actually not letting the Australian batters actually settle in because of his pace and the way he was actually using his short ball. But Australia again showed under pressure. Again, they have shown that it's not just their senior team who does well under pressure. It's also their junior team who can do well and come out of pressure situations and go over the finishing line.
But Harshit and everybody, they were all worried that we saw 4 months ago that Australia defeated India in a World Cup final. But you're forgetting, this is Under-19 World Cup, where India are like Australia in this kind of a format.
We should not be saying that. Last time we said this was for the final, that India is like Australia of 2003.
And it happened again. He's referring to the fact that yes, we lost to Bangladesh. But since we were talking about Ali Razza, I must mention, there was all one-way traffic at one point, and it looked like, this would be a win for Australia. But then that wicket of Oliver Peak, that is what changed things. And who got the wicket? It was again Ali Razza. It was his burst, his second spell, in fact, which was very rewarding, and that is what changed the match on its head. After which you saw, the tail really hanging there for Australia, and that's where you saw the Australian DNA at display once again for the umpteenth time in the world of sport. You saw an Australian side go out there and not give up till the very end. You needed 3 runs in the last over with 5 balls to spare. Yes, an edge going behind the keeper. It doesn't matter how the runs come. Well, whatever streaky, scrappy, unconventional, undesirable, whatever you want to say, runs are runs. It's absolute, it's weight in gold. When these runs come from tailenders, the tailenders stuck around enough and got Australia home from a very, very precarious situation.
Exactly.
If you wonder if Razza had 1 more over, let's say about 3 more balls as well, because if I'm not wrong, he picked a wicket on his last or his second last ball as well. If that man had 1 more over, he was absolutely breathing fire in his second spell. If he had 1 more over, it really could have been another finalist, but not to be. It is the Australians who prevailed and will be playing against India on Sunday.
And if I have to just, before Shashwat you come in, I just want to add, the way how Raf McMillan and Callum Widler, they were the 2 guys who were in. Raf McMillan got an inside edge that went to fine leg. In the game against Bangladesh, by which Pakistan sealed their place, Mohammad Zishan, the same bowler, was bowling. The tailender got an inside edge that rocked back onto the leg stump, and Pakistan sealed their spot. How fine margins and how fickle the game can change. And consider this, be it any kind of event, ODI World Cup Senior, Under-19 World Cup, Australia cannot lose to Pakistan in a knockout stage. Consider 1987 World Cup, lost. 1988, the inaugural Under-19 World Cup, Australia beat Pakistan in the final. 2010, Australia beat Pakistan in the final. You remember that series? Hazelwood and Marsh, 2010 batch, they really put out. And look at it, 1999, 2003, look at 2015. Every single time a knockout stage has come, Pakistan cannot beat Australia, and it is time immemorial. Just like how their catching has been bad ever since creation, although this under 19 team is a different beast altogether when it comes to fielding.
No, but I still feel that there were quite a few fielding lapses because keeper was leaving a few. I remember this cut shot that was not even a single and it was misfielded and then a double was taken. So I feel a few lapses in the fielding that actually resulted in giving those extra runs because suddenly if you would have come into the final over, they were chasing just 3 runs in the final over. If they would have come in with somewhat like a 10 runish or maybe even 7-8 runs total in the final over, then the pressure would have been different. And like with 3 runs they were just 1 shot away.
Yep.
With 7-8 runs I think the story could have been very different and the pressure on a number 10-11 would have been really different.
Yeah, and 7 extras.
Yeah.
It's much better than what we saw in the previous semi-final, the South Africa-India semi-final, in which there were more number of extras, that too towards the end. But you wish, let's say, as Sashwat, and there were half chances, let's not forget, there were half chances of run out, and I remember
Yes.
2 of them happening at the fag end. If those, these
Especially the one,
and butts you talk about,
Yep.
if those had converted into direct hits.
Exactly. I mean,
again,
Callum
the
Whittler, he had to put in the dive. I mean, if the
Yeah.
throw had come from cover, he was goner. But again, those fine margins always play a part in this. But remember, let's take a moment before we wind up. 3 players who are really, we have to look forward to. One is Oliver Peak. The other one is Harry Dixon. And
he got a 50,
He
right?
got a
Yeah.
50. Tom Straker. I mean, Tom Straker, if I have to give you a bit of information, he got about 6 for 25 today, 6 for 24. He hails from Sutherland. He plays for Sutherland Cricket Club and he hails from New South Wales. What is it with New South Wales and producing epic Australian players? Just ask Steve Smith, just ask Josh Hazelwood, just ask Mitchell Stark. Just ask all these guys. David Warner.
Yep.
Next bunch of legends coming from New South Wales. And Tom Straker, with his pace and all, he might be the difference maker in the clash against India. So, after so many twists and turns, the 2 undefeated teams are finally playing in the ICC Under-19 World Cup final. It's a repeat of 2012. It's a repeat of 2018. Whether India can achieve the 2012 or 2018 success, and remember, they'll be the 6-time winners. Like Australia in the World Cups of the senior team, they'll be 6-time winners. So, what a match. What a match indeed, Shashwat.
And India versus, I think India-Australia is going to be an interesting game. Last time India played Australia was the 2018 World Cup when you had someone like a Shubman Gill, Prithvi Shaw, Manjot Kalra, Kamlesh Nagarkoti,
Shivam Mavi.
Shivam
Shivam Mavi.
And I remember that was same place. It was in Australia only.
No, this
it
was in New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah,
Yeah.
it was in New Zealand, and it was again a one-sided sort of a game. And Manjot Kalra went on to
Hit
score
that
that 100
century,
century.
yes.
Now it would be interesting to see who would be the batter for India and the bowler who would shine on the occasion of the final, because you also have to remember in tournaments like an Under-19 World Cup, you have seen players doing well in the semi-final and final who leave that impact and people tend to remember you. That's sort of the way to actually
Yep.
break down the door.
Yeah, actually, these stages do act as a good springboard for young players. And let's not forget all those names that Sashwat mentioned were eventually picked by
IPL
franchises in the IPL as well. Look at last time around as well, somebody like a Yash Dhul who got runs got picked by the Delhi Capitals.
Yes.
Sheikh Rashid by the
Vicky
Chennai Super
Ostwal
Kings.
was also picked, I remember.
By Delhi Capitals.
By Delhi Capitals again.
Rajvardhan Hangarkar.
Rajvardhan
Chennai
Anga
Super Kings again.
picked up by the
Sheikh Rashid by Chennai
Chennai-
Super Kings. Nishant Sandhu by Chennai Super Kings.
Yeah. So I'll just look at Piyush Nandre's comments. WTC, World Cup and Under-19 World Cup. I have feeling in T20 World Cup also same teams will repeat. Although, I mean, West Indies T20 World Cup, it may be a bit more open considering that the Windies themselves are in very, very good form at this point. And Vignesh Konar, Pakistan cricket system is very vulnerable. Grooming of young talented players always nightmare in Pakistan system. Do you agree? No, I don't think that grooming of young players was a problem. It was this revolving door policy that is there. You play 2-3 games, get shunted out.
Yeah.
Same
And
with
it
the
was the
PCB.
same thing
Hi.
with the under 19 also.
Yeah.
I think the comment of the day belongs to Sarat Chandra Yalamarti, who's asking the three of us if Pakistan bowlers are really under 19 with that height of 6'7" that they have.
I mean, that's a bit naughty, sir. See, they would have come through. See, there is now intense testing for all the things to eliminate age fraud. And that's why, look, unlike in the
No, but the
80s,
testing is done at home only.
but still, I mean, give them the benefit of doubt, unless they are found wanting, like what happened, unfortunately, in 2018, if that's the case. So, KK Ali Raza guy is just 15 years old.
No, doesn't look. I
But
don't
he
think
is.
that-
He is. But he is. I think he turns, I think, 19 in the month of March.
Who?
Ali Raza.
No, he's 15 right now.
16 in the month of March.
I know it's a leap year, but then
Yeah.
it happens once in 4 years, so that's the situation. So, Ali Raza is one to look forward to. Ubaid Shah, Naseem Shah's younger brother, definitely another guy who's emerged from the Pakistan team at this point. But yes, unfortunate Pakistan.
Why there is no DRS? Well, there's no DRS in the entire tournament.
Yeah,
The
that's
entire
very
there is TV umpire, but there's no DRS. Well, why? I don't know. You can ask the ICC that perhaps.
I
But
know.
again, it incurs certain costs. That's what we know. It incurs
Yeah.
it incurs a lot of logistical changes. Well, probably one of the reasons could be because the tournament was to first take place in Sri Lanka.
Oh,
There it was
yes.
towards the end shifted to South Africa. I'm not too sure if in Sri Lanka you were to have the DRS
No,
to
DRS
begin with.
hasn't been in
But
the under
here,
19 World
I'm just
Cup.
saying if I was to just hypothesize or
No,
think
last
of a
time also there
reason,
wasn't any
think of
DRS.
a reason. But maybe that's something they can change because
Yeah.
you know it's these cricketers who are eventually who are playing, let's say, one level below the highest level of cricket. It's the next best thing to playing international cricket. Yes, you can argue that there is A level cricket you can play as well, but then this gives you the exposure for the real big thing. So why not? Maybe you can limit the number of DRS usage to about one.
Just one. But
Just-
yeah, we don't have a DRS system in the under 19 World Cup at this point. Perhaps cost effectiveness, maybe because see, you're not getting any kind of ticket remittances from the ground. Remember, the under 19 World Cup attendances are quite low, as you would expect. But with India in the final, you're going to see a packed house at Wilmore Park in Benoni. So 11th at 1 p.m. IST is the final. The toss will happen at 1 p.m. IST, and then we at Sports Today will be bringing you all the information that we get.
That day, you'll see us do the preview of the match as well,
Mid
the
innings.
mid innings as well as the post match. So be there on Sunday with us
And before
through
we
the
sign
entire
off,
day.
yeah, and before we sign off, thank you and 250k thank yous to our entire family for putting us on the special milestone. Sports Today has got 250k family members, and it's all your love, your dedication, your passion that has ensured that we have gotten there, and that's why we want to strive more. Thank you to our
So
family
the next
members.
target, they say small targets. The next target is 300k. Help us get there ASAP. Let's get there.
Yes.
In fact, before the T20 World Cup is to begin.
For the IPL.
Well, they say be pragmatic at times.
Of course,
Harshad.
and
So-
he is going to be pragmatic. And KK, ab ki baar 300 par. Indeed.
Yes.
With all your love, we will do it. So, I have to catch my breath a bit because we are going to see. Shashwat was rooting for an India-Pakistan final.
I definitely was. I would have wanted to watch an India-Pakistan final, and why not? Because I'm scared of Australia. I'm never going to count up someone like in Australia ever again
Just
in a knockout game.
For a comment for you, no Kudrat. ka
No
nizam.
Kudrat ka nizam.
Exactly. So,
It's not been happening for a couple of years
it
now.
has not been.
No,
So,
but I don't think they needed a Kudrat ka nizam today. They genuinely bowled well. It's just that they were unlucky.
So, India, Australia, see you on 11th February at 1 p.m. IST from me, Shashwat, Harshit, and also the Sports Talk mobile app, where they give you all the stories. It's going to come. Bye-bye. And thank you yet again for pushing us past 250k.
Bye-bye.
Bye.